Hello, welcome to the Godly Playroom here at Christ Lutheran Church in Georgetown, Texas. I'm glad you're here. I wonder if you came here today for a story. Do you feel ready? Watch. This is a little piece of the desert. The desert is so important in our Bible stories that we just have to have a little piece of it here with us. Desert is always changing, always moving. It's easy to get lost because it's never the same place twice. It's a hard place to travel to. There is not much food or water in the desert because the rain does not fall, and then the crops don't grow and there's no food to eat or water to drink. The people of God found themselves living in a part of the desert where the crops did not grow. The children would cry themselves to sleep at night because they were so hungry, and so the parents decided they had to go to where there was food. So they gathered everything that they had and left. They set out across the wilderness. It took a very, very long time, and it was a hard journey. Finally, they came to a land where there was food. This land was called Egypt. And at first, they were welcomed there. In Egypt, their king is called the Pharaoh. And after some time, the people of God came to be in relationship with the Pharaoh where they had to do everything the Pharaoh told them to do. They had to get up whenever the Pharaoh told them to get up. They could only eat when the Pharaoh allowed them to eat. And they could only sleep when the Pharaoh allowed them to sleep. They had to do everything the Pharaoh told them to do. They were trapped and they were slaves. Finally, someone from among the people went before Pharaoh and said, "Let my people go." And Pharaoh said, "No." Now this went on for some time. Pharaoh kept hearing this person named Moses come forward and say, "Let my people go." And Pharaoh would say, "No." Strange things began to happen in the land of Egypt, things that couldn't possibly be explained. And so Moses again came before Pharaoh and said, "Let my people go." And Pharaoh again said, "No." And then finally, something very sad happened. The firstborn son in all the houses of Egypt died, except for those among the people of God. For the people of God had marked their doors with the blood of a lamb, so that the angel of death would pass over them. And this time, when Moses went before the Pharaoh, whose son had died, this time Pharaoh said, "Yes." Now, the people of God were surprised, and they knew they had to act quickly just in case Pharaoh changed his mind. They didn't even have time for the bread to rise. They had to move very quickly. And so they just brought what they had with them. Soon they found themselves right up against the edge of the water. And they were afraid that if they looked back, they might see Pharaoh's army coming for them or hear the hoofbeats. Moses didn't know what to do. He prayed to God, and Moses came so close to God, and God came so close to Moses that somehow Moses did know what God wanted him to do. Moses touched his shepherd's staff to the water, and the water turned back and opened up a dry path through the water for the people to walk. Oh, some must have been so surprised. Oh, and some maybe a little afraid. Some looked back and did hear Pharaoh's army coming toward them and the hoofbeats, so they ran quickly. When all were safe on the other side of the sea, the waters closed so that Pharaoh's army could not reach them. They were so overjoyed they danced and sang. And Miriam, Moses' sister, led the dancing in song and tambourine. Now, I wonder, what is your favorite part of this story? What do you like the best? Well, I wonder what you think the most important part of this story is. What is the most important thing here? I wonder if there's a certain part of this story that's especially about you. Where are you in this story? I wonder, is there anything in this story that you would like to leave out and we would still have all the story that we need? What would that be? What could we leave out? You may want to take a moment to pause the video and visit with your friends and family that are there with you. You might want to wonder and ponder more about this story, or maybe find it in your Bible and read more about it. Or maybe you would like to do some artwork today, draw a picture, or find some figures that you could make this with. Some of you might even have in your home the kind of bread that the people brought through the desert. It's called matzo, and it's very flat. It's not like the puffy bread that we buy in the store or eat today. It's very flat, almost like a cracker, and it tastes like the desert, like this story. So maybe look in your pantry. Perhaps you have some matzo. It's been good to be with you here today, and we would love for you to join us in person. You can be here on Sunday mornings at 9:15, or watch us on this live video here, and we're glad you're here. See you next week.